Breaking news, California politicians just hid a mileage tax in a much larger budget bill that they just passed in Sacramento. I voted no, of course. I'll tell you what the mileage tax requires, how much you're going to end up paying, and what we're doing to fight back. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California and a California state legislator. And I've warned you for years that politicians in Sacramento are not just about raising your gas tax. They want to charge you based on your mileage. They have a mileage tax scheme, and they call it track and tax. They want to track the number of miles that you drive and then tax you per mile. Oh, I know, per mile. They included a mileage tax pilot project in 2017 in the gas tax initiative, SB1. And of course, Joe Biden included a mileage tax mandate in his huge climate bill in 2022 that basically said that all auto manufacturers have to now sell cars that equip cars with tracking devices. Oh, you didn't know that? Oh, yeah. The ill effects from the Biden administration still reverberate because they are looking to put in place a mileage tax on all drivers. Thus far, we've been able to stop SB1's pilot project, including a pilot project here in San Diego County, where the politicians here locally enacted it 2 years ago, and then we did a recall and basically stopped them from imposing it. Their ultimate goal is to tax you as a driver for every mile that you drive. They're going to claim that now that we're going to electric vehicles and that we have to somehow pay for the roads, so we have to do a mileage tax. Liars. They've never paid for roads in the first place. The gas taxes ain't even going into the roads. And of course, not all of us want to drive an electric vehicle. We're perfectly fine with a gasoline-powered vehicle. So the mileage tax is not a replacement for anything. It's not like they're going to get rid of the gas tax or give you a rebate. You're going to get killed with a mileage tax. And they're thinking, well, we'll start out with 6 cents or 9 cents per mile. Well, the average car is 15,000 miles per year. That's easily $600 to $900 per car. 2-car family, you're talking about $1,200 to $1,800 per family and household per year. So into this comes the mileage tax that perhaps you don't notice at first. It comes in the form of a budget bill, Senate Assembly Bill 130. Assembly Bill 130 is a budget bill, massive budget, the state budget, and they slid in a mileage tax, but they call it a vehicle mileage tax, a VMT. Now, you as a driver are not going to be charged the mileage tax directly. Instead, they're going to start increasing the cost of housing in California by charging every developer who builds a house or a housing project a mileage tax. Yeah, you're saying, well, Carl, houses don't drive on the road. I know, unless you're an RV. What they're basically saying is that houses create drivers, and drivers, therefore, should be paying for it. But we really don't have the guts now that people like DeMaio are out there causing a ruckus about the direct approach to a mileage tax. Well, what if we hit it in their mortgage payment? Do you understand how dishonest, sneaky, corrupt these politicians are? Are you seeing it now? They don't want you to know that they're robbing you blind. So instead of charging you a mileage tax directly, they're charging you a mileage tax indirectly, and they're saying, oh, it's the developer's fault. They're overpricing the home. The estimate, $324,000 per home or apartment built. $324,000 per apartment unit or house built. That is the price of a house in some states. In most states, actually, that's about the average for the nationwide average. Yeah, look, into all of this, you wonder why California has a cost of living crisis. The Transparency Foundation study shows living in California imposes a $28,037.28 cost of living penalty on typical middle class family. When you go down to housing costs, the cost for housing is 108% higher for homeowners, 47% higher for renters. You impose a $300,000 plus per unit mileage tax that then has to be rolled into the rent or the mortgage, and you are talking about 200% higher for homeowners and easily almost 100% higher for renters. Look at our gas costs. $1.47 per gallon higher. You add a mileage tax onto that of $600 to $900 per driver per year for 15,000 miles. We're talking easily $200 to $250. These people, they're robbers and thieves. They absolutely have no shame. And yet here you have the same week that they pass a $300,000 per housing unit mileage tax. This headline comes out. California's sky-high living costs afford it the nation's highest poverty label again. We're tied with Louisiana for the most poverty-stricken state. And again, poverty is defined as what level you're at based upon your cost of living. So one way to reduce our poverty rate in California isn't to say, oh, let's give minimum wage increases out. No, cut the damn cost of living here and operating here in the first place. Make California more affordable, and your poverty rate dramatically drops, because the calculation of what does it take to live in a state and not be dirt poor, that calculation is affected by what the cost of living index is. And California, as we just showed in this study, has an absolutely insane cost of living crisis. So this bill, which I voted against, I was one of the only no votes against this AB 150 bill. It will probably be signed by the governor, and you're going to be looking at the mileage tax starting to get rolled into people's mortgages and rent payments every single month. These are for new houses, so it's going to take some time, but they're getting the money through the mortgage, increasing the cost of housing. Look, they're not going to stop with just the VMT for new houses. They're going to go after a mileage tax directly on drivers. That's why Biden equipped in he's called it the Inflation Reduction Act. It's actually the Inflation Stimulation Act. That's why Biden put the trackers on all the cars as a mandate for all auto manufacturers to track so that they can tax. That's the wave of the future that these liberals have. And it's going to start in California. California has committed to do the first mileage tax as a state in the nation. We have to beat this, and it's coming soon. They introduced a mileage tax bill this cycle, and I defeated it. But then they went ahead and they did the mileage tax through the housing projects, the back door. Go to the website, reformcalifornia.org, and click under campaigns, and you'll find our mileage tax campaign among the many campaigns that we're running. Learn more about the mileage tax, share information on the mileage tax. Also, chip in a contribution. We can only fight with gas in the tank, with resources. And so you haven't seen a rebellion in California because most people have given up hope. I'm telling you, when we fight, we can win, but we all need to work together. So please chip in a contribution. Sign up at the website at the bottom of the site to get updates. All it takes is your first name, last name, email, phone, and zip code, and you'll be tethered into our growing movement to take back California from the insanity of the far left. No, you should not have to pay a mileage tax, but it's coming soon to your odometer. We need to defeat that, and we need to roll back the VMT that they just enacted through the housing bill. Until next time, I'm Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California and a California State Representative. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. But before you click away, please subscribe to this channel and click that notification button so you get updated when we post new episodes. Plus, like this video and share it with your friends so that we can help spread our message across the state. Reform California with Carl DeMaio is paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly.